So, Raphael, tell me a little bit about what you've been working on. It sounds like you have quite a bit going on right now.
Oh, well, definitely. Well, first of all, thank you, Sammy, for taking the time to talk to me. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm I'm always amazed that anyone wants to talk to me, so thank you very much for that. Currently, we have our movie Unchained, which just came out over the 4th of July weekend. It's been doing way beyond what I expected it to, which is obviously great. It's a movie starring Mel Mulroney, Taya Valkyrie, who is Frankie Monet in WWE, Eric Roberts, who obviously very, very well known for The Dark Knight, Expendables, Academy Award nominee, etc., etc. Rock Riddle, Hall of Fame wrestler. Some wonderful performances from Larry Andrews, from Ronnie, from Mary Chris. I could go on about how much I love these people we've been working with. And of course, the wonderful soundtrack as well from Alexander, who did, he just elevated the piece just by just adding this extra level to it. And let me just also thank my producers, Ilya Konstantin, Tatiana Rusakova, and John Bryan for allowing me to play. Because let's face it, it's very difficult to get a movie going. And luckily they gave me the tools to be able to do that. So yeah, it's great to have the movie out finally after a year of COVID and all that. So I feel very, what's the best word? Humbled, but at the same time thoroughly excited. My inner child is on fire at the minute.
Nice. Yeah, tell me a little bit about how you're involved in your role.
Basically, this was a very small budget feature. And as anybody who's done micro budget features knows, you need to wear a lot of hats. And I have actually a nice selection of hats over there, but I'm not going to show them all. But basically, for the movie, I was director, I was co-writer, I did all the editing, I was the cinematographer, the colorist, did most of the lighting and stuff like that. Basically, I tried my best to fill in anything that needed to work. But I do wish to stress it's a collaborative process, because ultimately when you're doing a movie, you can't just do it on your own. You need to have actors, you need to have the right performers in place for each one of the specific roles. So Ilya, one of our producers, he was helping with the sound. Alberto, who is a PR guy, he also did a lot of the sound and stuff like that. And the fact is, I'm so gifted to have so many people who are willing to chip in and understand we all have to get this if we want to make a finished product. So although my name is on there a lot on the piece, the fact is it really was a collaborative thing, and I'm so thankful that everybody on set let me be the mad guy that I am to get it done.
And what would you say was the biggest challenge about making this? Did you make it during COVID? Was it pre-COVID? How did that work?
It was actually pre-COVID we shot. The biggest challenge, again, with micro budget features is always, what can I do with X amount of funds? Now, if you are the Avengers, it doesn't matter. You just spend money, whatever. If something doesn't go wrong, we'll reshoot it. We'll do this and this. There is no chance of doing that on a micro budget feature. You have to get everything within 2 or 3 takes maximum. And you have to be very cognizant of people's time, because there's a lot of people volunteering. So the movie was shot in stages, not in a continuous, like 2 weeks or whatever. And that way it meant that keeping track of things sometimes was difficult, making sure that the continuity was there. This was all good. Luckily, again, a lot of the people involved, they understood how we were doing it. Linda Michaels, our makeup person, she was so fantastic about matching the makeup to make sure that even though the shots where you see her with stuff on her face and whatever was sometimes weeks apart, it looked like it was the same day, which is really, really good. So again, I can't say enough high praise for a lot of these people. The other thing which was a little bit difficult was, of course, as you pointed out, COVID. That wonderful thing that we're all trying to forget happened last year. Originally, we were going to have a nice big premiere over here in LA. We had got the prices and were setting up at the Chinese theater. And I thought, whoa, that would be fantastic. And I was the festival director over at the Omni TV Fest a few months before. So we were at the Egyptian for that one. So we had all the pricing and everything sorted out. All we had to do was pay for it and all that. And silly me, when I heard, oh, this COVID thing's coming in, I said, oh, it'll blow over in a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month. And it just carried snowballing over. So those big dreams disappeared. So the movie's actually been ready for well over a year. And eventually we just got to a point where it's sort of subsiding the COVID, but let's be honest, the big dreams of doing a huge Hollywood red carpet, it's probably not a good idea at the minute. So that was the hard thing, a hard pill to swallow. But at the same time, we need to get the product out there. Ultimately, the movie needs to get out there. So yeah, we work within the limitations we have. That's what I say, people.
Absolutely. And if you want, we could at TV Grapevine host a Zoom party for you guys.
Oh, well, I could definitely ask them. I don't know if
I don't know how it would work. We could try to make it work. I'll make it happen. Which everyone gets on Zoom and talks about it, and we'll make something happen for you. There's no reason why you shouldn't have something.
Well, that's very generous. I mean, honestly, I'd love to do that. Everyone's now spread out across not only the US, but also across the globe at the minute. They're also doing other projects and things. But the miracle of technology, we can
That's
do
what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll just have like a big Zoom party and everyone talks and hangs out. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can all compare virtual backgrounds.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
see who has the coolest one.
Yes, and people will have animals jumping up on their laps and see.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be good.
That's the thing I'm missing. I need an animal jumping on my lap. Just somewhere. But unfortunately, I don't have a dog or a cat or anything. So,
oh
well.
Get a pet rock.
Get a pet rock, yeah.
Just be like,
I got a pet rock here. Oh, yes. I got a rock of some description here.
Nice.
I can hold that. There's my
there
pet
you
rock.
go. There you go. Nice. And what are you working on now that this movie is getting ready to be premiered? And
well, the movie, I mean, basically is out. It came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's
honestly, we're still doing a lot of PR. I'm actually shocked how many people have actually wanted to talk to us and stuff like that. I mean, I get it that people want to talk to the Eric Robertses and the Ty Valkyries and the Mayors. And I'm always shocked that anyone wants to talk to me. Like, this is like, it's my silly little movie, but at the same time, it's so humbling to think that anyone wants to talk to me. And we had a lot of little discussions when we were about to get released and thinking, oh, will the press be interested? Will anyone want to do it? Surprisingly, it's had an incredible effect. I can't believe how many websites we're on. We were on CBS, we were on NBC, we were on all these things. And all the expectations were blown away. In fact, the Best Buy links that were sent to me are already sold out. And I was flabbergasted. How is this possible? So it's been a wonderful, surprising learning experience. But again, it's people like you that make it all worthwhile. Just sitting here talking about this project, which, you know, a year and a half ago was just us sitting around doing nothing and thinking, hey, how about we shoot a movie? And now we're discussing it as a real Hollywood movie. Isn't it great?
It's amazing. I'm so proud of you. And you need to be more confident. We all want to talk to you. You're an amazing person. So
thank you very much. But as I said, I still have that wondrous little child in me that, you know, I feel like a kid in the candy store. I've suddenly been allowed in with the keys to the store so I can have all the chocolate and everything. I'm wondering how long I'm going to be able to do that. So we'll see.
It's almost like being at the cool kids table too at school.
Oh yeah, because let's face it, a lot of us didn't always get to sit there. But at the same time,
not me.
Yeah, not me either. So it's kind of like, finally I'm sitting there and they all wanted to hang around with me. So it's I mean, we always have to keep level-headed about these things because you never know.
Right.
Fame can be very fleeting and very fickle. But at the same time, I'm always so grateful that we've managed to get to this stage. Because again, the child in me, when I was little, playing with little toys and stuff, my Star Wars figures or He-Man figures or whatever, and I'd create their little stories, and you know, and there was my first sort of directing, telling, you know, Skeletor, you got to do this a little bit better and stuff like that. Let's have some more motivation. Why are you really working with this beast man and stuff like that? These kind of things transpired into my vocation. And it's just weird to think that these little silly things. And again, I tell everybody all the time, our inner child is what makes this all possible. It's that thing, that wide-eyed wonderment that when we first discover things as kids, we love them. But as we get older, we start to get all these, you know, I've got to be this, I've got to be that. Well, you know, sometimes it's good to let the child out. Sometimes it's good to just enjoy what you enjoy and not worry about all the stuff that's happening around. It's sometimes just that simple. take time out for yourselves, and you'll be a so much happier person for it.
That is so true. It's amazing. And one thing I like to ask people I interview is tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Oh, fun fact. I'm not sure if it's a totally fun fact, but I'm a Greek Cypriot via England. I mean, our island is like 500,000 people. Even if we came over to the US, we'd still be like a tiny minority. I mean, basically, I tell people that as people, as human beings, you should always be yourself, because of the fact that everybody else is taken. So don't even bother trying to be anybody else. And I'm so gifted that I grew up in these different societies with people with different voice. I mean, I didn't learn to speak English or anything until a little bit later. So for me, I think that understanding and that experience living in the Greek household and stuff like that really, really helped me to learn a little bit about my place in the world. Because if you think about it, we look at the Iliad or the Odyssey and we realize that Homer effectively was just a storyteller. He was a person sharing stories around a campfire, and we are part of that legacy. We are continuing to tell stories, to entertain, to alleviate all the stuff that's happening around us. And so I feel incredibly, this wonderful thing that I can be part of this storytelling tradition. And so I think in a way, I don't know if it's an interesting fact, but that Greekness in me is what inspires me to move forward and tell new stories and keep on improving and never resting on my laurels, because there's always new worlds to conquer, so to speak.
Incredible. And before I let you go, I want you to describe the movie in 3 words for me.
3 words. As you can tell, I waffle a lot, so that's tough for me. Dear me. This is the time I wish I had a prepared answer. Empowerment, strength, and I can only have one more. Empowerment, strength, and reality. I don't know if that's even a good one. If I could add a couple of words.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, basically, I would say this is a woman's empowerment story at the end of the day. A lot of people will do these kind of movies where it's basically torture porn. Effectively, it's just beating this and this. But I wanted it to be more along the lines of, this is a woman who is trapped, so to speak, but will find a way of breaking those chains, being able to get out there. And the real strength comes from within herself. It is not the defining elements of everybody around her. It is about stepping up to the plate and saying, no, I'm going to take charge of my life and I'm going to make it better. And I hope that that subtext isn't lost when people watch the movie, because I'm sure a lot of people just think, oh, I'm just going to watch a movie of girls fighting and all this kind of stuff. No, I really wanted it to be more of an empowering story for people across the globe about, this is about, you can take charge of your own life. Don't blame other people for things. You can make the biggest difference of all.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate you. And I can't wait to talk again soon.
I can't wait either, Sammy. Thank you so much for this interview with TV Grapevine. And I look forward to seeing you online.
Yes. All right. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Take care, Sammy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.